So, we're going straight from NASCAR to Disney princesses, eh? Yep, I'm a weird dude, get used to it. Okay, so where did this video idea come from? Well, Fennekin Squad member Takaharu Kim asked on my Encanto Series Concept video if Mirabel is considered a Disney princess, to which I replied, no, not officially anyway. But that got me thinking, what actually makes a Disney princess, and what are the criteria? I was a bit hesitant to make a video on the topic, however, but as some of you may know, I decided to add it to a community poll and it won by a mile, so here we are. I actually had done a decent amount of research on this topic prior to this video, surprisingly. So let's just cut this intro short and jump right into the open up! I'm sorry, who? D-I-S, the Disney Investigative Services, pal! Mickey Mouse, what are you doing here?
I heard you were talking about the inner workings of my company, so I thought I'd drop by to make sure you didn't try anything sneaky, pal.
I was just gonna...
I'll also answer any questions you have about the Disney princesses.
Oh, well, I guess that's a fair trade-off.
Great, shall we get started?
I believe we shall. If you look up the actual definition of the word princess, you actually get some interesting information. For one, the word princess in English actually originated from the old French word princesse, which I find especially funny given the storied history between the British and the French. Secondly, you get the different meanings and uses of the word, including the one we all know of being the daughter or granddaughter of a monarch. However, as we should all know by now, it can also be used as a derogatory term.
Some of us have bigger problems, you selfish, entitled princess! Selfish!
Third and finally, if you literally look to the right of the search box, you will see images of the Disney princesses. Speaking of which, who is on the official princess list? Well, in order, you have...
Hold on there, boy. I feel like I'm much more qualified to answer this question.
Sure. Go ahead, Mickey.
The official Disney princesses are Snow White from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella from Cinderella, Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, Ariel from The Little Mermaid, Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Jasmine from Aladdin, Pocahontas from Pocahontas, Mulan from Mulan, Tiana from The Princess and the Frog, Rapunzel from Tangled, Merida from Pixar's Brave, and Moana from Moana.
Thanks, Mickey. That's very helpful.
Elsa and Anna from Frozen are also included in the list while not officially being Disney princesses, mainly because both of them leave their princess status by the end of Frozen and Frozen 2. Plus, Frozen is a much bigger moneymaker for us, so it makes much more sense to keep them as their own brand. That's why they also appear in the lineup with the official princesses in Ralph Breaks the Internet, and why on our official Disney Princess website, they are the only two characters with a blue backdrop rather than a pink one.
Okay, Mickey, I think that's enough information.
Additionally, Tinkerbell and Esmeralda were originally included when the brand launched, but for one reason or another were eventually removed. Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon is also not officially included in the list, but she is featured on our princess website.
Okay, Mickey, since you're so smart and seem to have all the answers, what defines a Disney princess?
Money-making potential, pal!
Really? That's it?
Well, yeah, I run a business. What did you expect? A Disney princess is a human female I can market the living crap out of and make money from. The primary target audience for the Disney princess line is girls, particularly younger ones, but even the adults get in on it from time to time, particularly around Halloween. So yeah, money. Literally just money.
That's all that makes a Disney princess, their marketability and appeal to children?
Well, yeah. What did you expect? Actual lore?
Kinda, yeah.
Sorry to bring your video to an early end, pal.
No worries, Mickey. Well, guys, I guess that's all for me today. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm just messing with you guys. We've got way more to talk about.
Wait, what?
While I couldn't find anything from official channels, the fandom page for Disney princesses states that the quote-unquote official requirements for Disney princesses are as follows. The character must have a central role in an animated Disney or Pixar film. The character must be human, or at least have a humanoid appearance. The character should not be the star of a sequel. The character must be royal by birth, royal by marriage, or do a heroic deed. The character's film should not have been an overwhelming success or an underwhelming failure. Along with it, the character must have massive appeal and recognition towards viewers and audiences.
Well, yeah, we kinda already talked about that last one, pal.
I'm aware, but it's still a requirement nonetheless. But are there any other lore-related ones?
I'm gonna stay out of this.
Okay, Well, here are some of the looser unofficial requirements from the fandom wiki, or bonuses, I guess you could say. In Moana, Maui jokes about one of the requirements being,
if you wear a dress and you have an animal sidekick, you're a princess.
Another unofficial requirement, for the most part, is that every character must have a good singing voice, with Merida being the exception to the rule.
We can't understand her. She's from the other studio.
Being a part of a different franchise will also affect their princess status, hence why Anna and Elsa aren't officially considered in the lineup while still being on the list. Other unofficial requirements include talking to the aforementioned animals, regardless of whether said animals can themselves speak or not, and exhibiting both an inward and outward beauty.
Well, of course beauty is a requirement. We're not selling ugly dolls here.
Yeah, I guess that's
We
understandable.
would have tried Disney Princes, but there's a much better market for the animal sidekicks. The costumes are a bit weirder, but hey, money's money.
Okay then. Anyways, according to Ralph Breaks the Internet, which I am adding to the ever-expanding list of we don't talk about insert parody here, another requirement is that a big, strong man shows up at the end and all of their problems are solved. While this is mostly accurate, it's not a requirement, since Merida fixed her own mistake and Moana was really fixing Maui's mistake. One requirement you could add is that they need to have an emotionally scarring backstory, but again, not really a requirement.
They also need to be female, or else we let in people like Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
How does Doofenshmirtz qualify as a Disney princess?
Well, he's in the second dimension film. He wears a dress, has an animal sidekick, sings, has an emotionally scarring backstory. His innators always end up doing good rather than bad, and he has a massive appeal towards viewers.
Well, when you put it like that, you're not wrong and I hate it.
Yup. Let's never speak of this again.
Agreed. For the purpose of this video, let's assume that every character in the Disney lineup is eligible and there are no Disney princess roles assigned yet. Let's narrow down the list to focus on just their qualities for examination for qualification for the title of a quote-unquote Disney princess. To help narrow it down, let's start by picking only the female characters who are either a human or have a mostly humanoid appearance, no animals. They must also play a central role in their respective films. Additionally, to help thin the herd right away, we're only going to accept one entry per film. Films with more than one possible entrant will be restricted to just the more central of the characters. Also, for the purposes of this list, we will allow those starring in sequels. So, based on that, who qualifies? Well, in the Disney corner, we have Snow White from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella from Cinderella, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, Wendy from Peter Pan, Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, Ariel from The Little Mermaid, Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Jasmine from Aladdin, Pocahontas from Pocahontas, Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Fa Mulan from Mulan, Jane from Tarzan, Princess Kida from Atlantis the Lost Empire, Lilo from Lilo and Stitch, Penny from Bolt, Tiana from The Princess and the Frog, Rapunzel from Tangled, Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph, Anna from Frozen, Gogo from Big Hero 6, Moana from Moana, Elsa from Frozen 2, Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon, and Mirabel from Encanto.
Hey, you want me to read the Pixar candidates?
I mean, you can, but I figured you didn't care about Pixar anymore, given the way you guys kind of treated their films recently.
Nonsense! We still pump hundreds of millions of dollars into their projects every year. If we didn't care about them, we would have absorbed them into the Walt Disney Animation Studios by now. Haha!
Good point.
Well, in the Pixar corner, we have Jessie from Toy Story 2, Colette from Ratatouille, Merida from Brave, Elastigirl from The Incredibles 2, Bo Peep from Toy Story 4, Julia from Luca, and May from Turning Red.
Alright, let me handle it from here. Quick note, if you'd like to know why some characters were included while others were not, i.e. why Gogo over Honey Lemon for a Big Hero 6 representative, feel free to ask in the comments below. Now, to help narrow down the candidates, here are the criteria we will be judging them on individually from here on out. Every character must be a princess either by birth, by marriage, or by having performed a heroic deed of some sort to excuse this requirement. For princess by birth, we will permit those who are the daughters of chiefs or significant leadership figures, since daughter of the chief technically counts, according to Disney. The film they come from must not be deemed a failure. No exceptions will be made for films released during the pandemic. They must prove successful one way or another. The characters must also have mass appeal and have a pleasant appearance. This is, as previously discussed, the true bread and butter appeal of the princess line. All of the previously mentioned unofficial requirements will also be used for consideration, but only to help boost one character over another or to help a questionable performance in one or more of the above official requirements. Okay, we have our candidate field and our judgment criteria. Let's get to qualifying. For the qualifying round, we will organize characters into 3 groups. Those that easily move on to the final round, those that barely make the cut, and those that don't qualify for one reason or another. Those that pass our set qualifications with flying colors are Snow White, Cinderella, Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, Pocahontas, Rapunzel, Merida, and Moana. They all make it in and qualify because they are all princesses by birth or marriage, come from successful films, and have mass appeal for varying reasons. It's not even a contest, they all just advance easily. Aurora, Mulan, Tiana, Vanellope, Gogo, and Raya all qualify, but barely. Aurora's film isn't super remembered, Tiana's film literally forced the renaming of Tangled and Frozen from Rapunzel and the Snow Queen respectively, and Mulan and Gogo all get in by heroism, which, let's be honest, sorta feels like cheating. Raya qualifies on all accounts, but her film is questionable success-wise given its initial paid preview streaming release. Vanellope is similar. She's a princess by design, quite literally, and her film is a success. But being a different form factor and general design from the others makes her appeal a bit questionable. But for the moment, I'll give Raya and Vanellope passing grades. Alice, Wendy, Esmeralda, Jane, Princess Kita, Lilo, Penny, Anna, Elsa, Mirabel, Jessie, Colette, Elastigirl, Bo Peep, Julia, and May all miss the mark, whether it be by a tiny amount or by a massive gorge. Kita technically qualifies, but her film is considered a failure. Luca was a successful film, but Julia is neither a princess nor really enough of a hero. The same story goes for Alice, Wendy, Esmeralda, Jane, Penny, Jessie, Colette, Bo Peep, and May. Elastigirl, while a hero, is a bit too old for qualification if we're being honest, and Lilo is way too young to be marketable. Anna and Elsa qualify in every aspect, but they both become queens at one point or another, so they kinda lose out on being a princess by default. And while her film is definitely a streaming success, Mirabel just misses the mark, being in a gray area due to the unknown nature of whether her Abuela Alma actually leads the Encanto or not.
So basically you did all of this just to come up with the exact same lineup that I already have?
Well, to be fair, I did add a couple new characters. Heck, even some of the ones I disqualified are close enough that you can make a case for them to be included.
Alright, wise guy, let's make this more interesting. Say we limit the princess lineup to 5 characters max. Who should they be? But be quick. I don't have all day, you know, and neither do your viewers.
Seriously? Just pick 5. Okay then. So, we have 15 characters that have qualified, but as you heard, we need to limit it to 5 finalists. While it wasn't necessarily easy to pick just 5, let's go ahead and talk about them in order now.
What?
Moana earned her stripes. She's both a princess and a hero in her universe, which actually makes her stand head and shoulders above the rest. She has an animal sidekick, a great singing voice, and while Maui does show up at the end to help, it's definitely less of a big strong man shows up to save the day scene than most. I actually included not 1, but 2 Disney Renaissance princesses on this list, but considering The Little Mermaid kicked it all off and literally saved Disney animation as a whole, I think it's only fair to give her the higher honor. Not to mention that having a fish for a sidekick is quite unique by comparison. Plus, mermaids. Just mermaids. That's all. Respect the classics, man. While Snow White and Aurora are excellent candidates in and of themselves, Cinderella is basically an icon for Disney. Plus, she has a small army of mice, a great dog, and one of the most iconic singing voices in Disney history. When you consider that, not including her would be like forgetting to put the icing between the layers of a cake. You know, if I had a nickel for every time I've used cake as an analogy in my videos.
Don't you dare bring Doofenshmirtz back into this!
Oh crap, I forgot!
Now we're stuck with this Princess Doofenshmirtz thing forever! No!
Okay, maybe I'm a little biased, but Rapunzel did start the 3D princess trend, and Tangled really was the turning point for Disney's 3D animation. In that sense, she's an icon for Disney. Add on that both Pascal and Maximus could be considered her sidekicks, with both having very funny personalities, especially if you factor in Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, then you have a lot of material that you can market. And as our final entry, we have Belle. Again, it's a classic Renaissance film. She's only last because she really doesn't have any sidekicks or anything that make her marketable besides her own character and design. But the songs are some of the most iconic in Disney's library, with Be Our Guest being its crown jewel, followed closely by Beauty and the Beast, if you ask me. Though, I have to admit, I do appreciate the opening number, Belle, because it's really cool from a world-building perspective. Plus, it inspired, the Family Magical, so brownie points. So there you go, Mickey. The characters which, in my opinion, make the cut for princesshood and the top 5 candidates if I had to pick them.
So not only did I have my lineup right, but you also picked 5 characters already in said lineup as your top 5?
Well, yeah. Is that so surprising? The main point of this video was to see who else would qualify, and to my surprise, while a few do come pretty close, only a couple others truly meet the requirements. And the whole point of the Disney Princess line is appeal and, as you said, money-making potential. So, yeah, you were right.
Take that, Fennekin. Take that, Fennekin, man.
Wait a minute, Micah? You were behind this the whole time.
Okay, fine. You caught me.
Yes, I was pretending to be Mickey.
Had you fooled, didn't I?
No. I wrote the script for this video, remember? I knew it all along.
Oh, right.
Well, guys, thank you for watching whatever this was.
An entertaining video about Disney princess semantics.
Thank you. Speaking of which, special thanks to Micah for playing along and doing the voice of Mickey Mouse.
You're welcome. Happy to help. If you ever need me again, give me a call. Remember, I have many voices.
I'm not 100% sure I'll ever have a need for a Joker impression, but if the time comes, I will call you. Well, guys, if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss future videos. That's all for me today. God bless you all and have a fantastic day. Remember, Jesus loves you. Until next time.
Peace out, Fennekin Squad.
Hey, that's my thing!